I think I'm going to have to give this to the Steel. No, I can't do that. Welcome to Week 3 NFL Picks with TSST. Last week I forgot to tell you how I did. Probably because I was embarrassed. And then I did even worse this past week. Week 1 I was at 9-7, and this past week I was at 7-9. So I'm currently at 50%. Let's see if we can keep that going. The first game this Thursday is going to be Giants at 49ers. I think we all know who's going to be picked for this one. We're going 49ers for sure. Then we're going to have Broncos-Dolphins. Another tough decision. Which will it be? It'll be the Dolphins. We're going to have the Patriots versus the Jets. As bad as Wilson is, I don't think Mac Jones is any better, but I do think the Jets' defense is significantly better than the Patriots. So, we're going for the New York Jets on this one. Texans versus the Jaguars. Well, the Texans aren't looking that good this year so far. Maybe a little better than I expected, but I think the Jaguars are looking about where I expected, which is pretty good. Not the top tier, but pretty good. I think the Jaguars are going to make the playoffs. I think the Texans are not that good. Jags just came off a loss where they held their own against the Chiefs. Jaguars for the win. Gonna have the Titans versus the Browns. Yeah. With Chubb out and Deshaun playing the way he is, I'm gonna give this one to the Titans. I'm gonna give it to the Titans. I'm sorry, John. I'm giving it to the Titans. We're going to have the Falcons versus the Lions. Now the Lions are 1-1, the Falcons are 2-0, but I still don't think the Falcons are really that good of a team, and their entire division is currently 2-0. Well, not their entire division. 3 out of the 4 teams. The Panthers are not 2-0. I'm going to have to give this one to the not Falcons. I think the Lions are a pretty good team. I'm giving this to the Lions. Make sure you pour yourself a subscription and take a shot off that like button. Chargers versus Vikings. Now, the Vikings are 1-1 and the Chargers are 0-2, but I think the Chargers are a much better team. I think most people would agree. So I'm going to pick the Chargers to win this one. Saints versus Packers. A 2-0 versus a 1-1. Ooh, one game is a big difference. This one might actually prove to be a pretty good game because the Packers they're going to need a couple years to really come in their own with everything that happened. Their team kind of needs to get into a rebuild mode a little bit, but not a heavy rebuild. They're not like a tank team by any means. I think Jordan Love is doing really well. I think the Packers are going to take this one over the Saints. The Saints are looking a lot better than I previously expected, I think, so it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to give it to the Packers. Bills versus the Commanders. The Commanders having a commanding 2-0, right? Let's double check that. That doesn't sound right at all. Holy cow. Yes, the Commanders are 2-0. The Buffalo Bills are 1-1, but I think week 1 was mostly a fluke, and they just had a commanding win over the Raiders. I'm giving this one to the Buffalo Bills. Colts Ravens. It's Ravens. The Ravens are going to win. Eagles versus Bucks. The Bucks proving to be a better team than expected, I think. Mayfield looking okay, I guess. But the Eagles are looking good. I'm going to go with the Bucks on this one. I've got to have an upset. I actually think the Eagles are probably going to win. But my official pick will be the Bucks. I think that's going to be one of those any given Sunday things. I think the Bucks, they might ride out a couple more wins just to fuck with us. So Bucks are going to win this one. Panthers at Seahawks. The Panthers are not looking good. They're making bad mistakes. They're a pretty young team at this point, though. They're in full rebuild mode. The Seahawks, they're actually trying to get themselves into playoffs, though I'm not sure that they will. They'll be close. They're going to be a pretty mid team. I think the Seahawks are going to have it over the Panthers. So I'm going to give this to the Seahawks. Bears versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win. I'm not confident in the Bears, let's put it that way. So we're going to pick the Chiefs. Cowboys versus the Cardinals. If the Cowboys lose this, that's embarrassing. So yeah, we're going to go Cowboys. This one's kind of a gimme. It'd be really weird to go the other way. Cowboys win. Then we're going to have the Steelers versus the Raiders. Jimmy G he's okay. I mean, I'm a Jimmy G fan overall, but he's not a top-tier quarterback, but neither is Pickett. So the connection between Pickett and Pickens this past week was pretty good. The Browns' defense was very good, and they managed to score on them pretty decently. So I think I'm going to have to give this to the Steel. No, I can't do that. The Raiders are going to win. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I can't. We're going Raiders. I can't pick the fucking other team. No way. Raiders. Then we're going to have the Rams versus the Bengals. I'm recording this on Tuesday. There is talk of Joe Burrow going on the injury reserve list. I kind of think that might be a good idea for the team to do. So hopefully they do. And if they don't, he's still pretty banged up. The Rams are pretty good. I'm going to be a homer on this one and pick the Bengals, but I think it's going to be a really close game. I hope we win. I really hope we win. The Rams are a much better team than... If you watch my week 1, I was crapping on the Rams, and I'm wrong. Plus, Aaron Darnold's got Joey B's number, so I'm still picking the Bengals. Bengals to win it, even if they use Browning. Browning or Burrow, Bengals take the win. Well, folks, thanks for watching Week 3 NFL Picks with TSST. If you liked what you're watching, make sure you pour yourself a subscription and take a shot off that like button. And we'll see you next week.